Jason Chaffetz, along with Molly Line, Madison Allworth, and David Webb. And welcome to the Big Weekend Show. The big story tonight, senators are on Capitol Hill tonight waiting to vote on a motion to debate President Trump's big, beautiful bill. Before the Senate can officially vote on the bill, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is forcing the Senate clerk to read the entire bill on the floor. The White House is warning Senate Republicans that failure to pass the bill would be, quote, ultimate betrayal. Trump is hoping to have the budget bill on his desk by July 4th. And Senator Mike Rounds, he thinks they can hit the deadline.
Patriots, buckle up, because what we're seeing unfold on Capitol Hill right now is nothing short of historic. This isn't just another political fight. It's a battle for the soul of America. And let me tell you, the left is losing their minds over what President Trump is doing. While they push their usual lies, distractions, and fear-mongering, President Trump is laser-focused on delivering what he promised. Real relief for working Americans, record-breaking economic growth, and the largest tax cut in American history. We're talking about a moment where the president isn't golfing in Mar-a-Lago or hiding in Delaware. No, sir. He's in D.C., sleeves rolled up, meeting with senators, pushing a bold, unapologetic America First agenda and proving once again why we needed him back in office on day one. But of course, what do Democrats do? They're trying to stall, distract, and derail this big, beautiful bill because they know it exposes them for what they are, elitists who have never cared about the working class. Schumer forced a reading of the entire bill just to delay it. You can't make this up.
I think the motion to proceed should be successful. I believe that we have the votes. Most of the members will always kind of share with leadership what their plan is. And right now I think it's going to be really tight, but I think we'll move to the bill.
That motion to proceed should be the easy part. The deadline may seem ambitious, but if Trump keeps up this week's winning streak, including an Israel-Iran ceasefire, a SCOTUS ruling keeping district courts out of his deportation business, and a near-record high for the stock market, well, it just might happen. In fact, it should. But first, he has to convince Republican Senator holdouts to get in line and pass the bill. Here's what one of them had to say today.
We shouldn't take the Nancy Pelosi approach and pass this bill to find out what's in it. We need to know exactly what's in it. By the way, we need to have a debate. Do we really need that additional tax credit when we're $37 trillion in debt? Let's have that discussion. This is a big bill. This is an important bill. There's no need to rush it.
Important indeed. If passed, the bill would be the largest tax cut in history. Madeline Rivera is live at the White House with the latest on where things stand right now. Maddie.
President Trump is fighting for you. This bill is about extending the Trump tax cuts, pumping funds into border security and our military, and wiping out the fraud and waste left behind by Biden, Obama, and every career bureaucrat who thinks your tax dollars belong to them. Chuck Schumer and the Democrats? They want to keep you in the dark. Instead of debating in good faith, they're trying to weaponize the process, stalling the Senate by making clerks read the entire bill word for word. Why? Because they're terrified. Terrified that Americans are waking up to what's really happening. The media's narrative is collapsing. They say Trump's economic plan only helps billionaires. Well, tell that to the waitress finally keeping her tips, or the truck driver saving thousands in taxes. Real Americans are finally feeling empowered again. Republican holdouts, it's time to choose a side. Senators like Rand Paul and Tom Tillis are dragging their feet. Look, we all want smart spending, but if you're rejecting this bill because you're worried about Medicaid optics, ask yourself, do you want to fix the system or protect the waste? And let's talk about Elon Musk's warning. Even the tech elite are stepping up and calling out this bill for what it could become if not handled correctly. Millions of jobs on the line. We need Republican unity now to steer this in the right direction. The markets are responding. Stocks are surging. Gas is at a 4-year low. Inflation cooling. The Nasdaq and S&P are hitting highs. That's not hype, that's leadership in action. Wall Street sees it. Main Street feels it. Meanwhile, the left screams about billionaires while blocking the very bill that helps the middle class. Why? Because they hate the idea of you keeping more of your own money.
Hey, Jason. The president decided to stay in D.C. this weekend to keep putting pressure on some of the GOP holdouts, and he has been speaking with Republican lawmakers. The president was in Virginia today golfing with Senators Lindsey Graham, Eric Schmidt, Rand Paul, and CIA Director John Ratcliffe. We should know that Graham and Schmidt are not some of the GOP holdouts. Paul, though, has said he is voting no on the bill unless Republicans remove the debt ceiling hike in the bill. Senator Tom Tillis also has a new statement out sharing why he's rejecting the bill. For now, he's taking issue with the Medicaid provisions. He says this will force the state to make painful decisions like eliminating Medicaid coverage for hundreds of thousands in the expansion population and even reducing critical services for those in the traditional Medicaid population. Elon Musk is weighing in as well, saying the latest Senate draft bill will destroy millions of jobs in America and cause immense strategic harm to our country. It is hard to overstate how crucial this moment is for the president's agenda. You laid it right there, Jason. This bill includes extension of the Trump tax cuts and more money for border security and defense spending. But the president is appearing to acknowledge the rocky road ahead. He now says July 4th is not a hard and fast deadline.
It's important. It's not the end all. It can go longer, but we'd like to get it done by that time, if possible. And look, we have a lot of very committed people, and they feel very strongly about subjects that you're not even thinking about that are important to Republicans.
So while the president has been speaking with GOP lawmakers, he has reportedly not begun the process of whipping individual votes. So certainly a lot to watch out for this weekend. Jason, back to you.
Maddie, thank you so much.
You got it.
As Republicans rush to pass the big, beautiful bill, the left continues to freak out over the president's economic plan and its success.
To sum up Trump's economic agenda, it's chaos and pain for the middle class and even more profits for the powerful.
The wealthy are going to get a giant tax cut. The middle class basically get nothing, about $500 a year, less than 1% of their income.
You can't get past how working class people are going to take it on the chin from this bill, and all for a bunch of billionaires who already have more money than they can count.
But working class Americans are loving Trump's plan.
It's like I'm getting all my money. I mean, when you tax my tips, it's almost like I'm not getting like 2 out of my 10 tips. So it's like I'm actually getting the money that I worked hard for.
Personally, it means saving several $1,000s. Tips are a huge part of what we bring in as drivers.
The no tax and overtime pay policy is a clear message of respect and support to our nation's law enforcement officers.
According to a new study from the Tax Foundation, the middle class is set to benefit the most from the legislation, and the economy is in great shape. U.S. stocks surged to a big finish, with the NASDAQ and S&P 500 hitting all-time highs and closing in on record territory. Gas prices are at a 4-year low as summer kicks into full gear, and inflation has cooled since Trump took office. Things are only going to get better if the GOP can get the big, beautiful bill over the finish line, which would be the largest tax cut in history and would root out Obamacare and Medicare waste, fraud, and abuse. All right, Madison, you follow the markets closely. There's some, I find, just outright lies coming from the Democrats trying to categorize this on a bumper sticker and say, oh, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, the spin is remarkable because when you look at how the economy did this week and when you look at the elements of the bill, you see how much it does for the middle class. I mean, as we noted, we heard from Americans, when you look at those that are making tips and are doing overtime, that's not the upper class. That is the middle class, and those are set to benefit. Just look at the stock market this week, right? Record highs. And this is when we had, coming off of an Iran bombing, when we're debating the big, beautiful bill. All of this is happening, and the markets are still strong. It does take some time for Wall Street to make it to Main Street. But it's a good signal when there is confidence in the market like that, especially with the big, beautiful bill on the horizon.
There is a lot in this bill. You know, I heard one of the senators say, oh, we need to debate it. Well, they are going to debate it. It's 10 hours of debate on each side. So there is plenty to debate there. But this is also the time where bumper sticker politics tries to prevail. They try to scare people with one sentence, and it's really not a good representation.
A couple of things here that people aren't paying attention to is that The bill is one anchor to something that's much bigger, including the TCJA being made permanent and other effects. I want to go to the 10-year budget window because this is the short-sightedness of politicians and bumper sticker slogans. I don't disagree with Johnson on wanting deeper cuts. I'm a Tea Party guy. I want even more. You know that. Yeah. You went in that era. When you look at the 10-year budget window and you look at $8.5 to $11.1 trillion over a 10-year budget, that's the Council of Economic Advisors projection on this. And I interviewed Stephen Mirren, the chair, on this week in detail. You're talking about a total deficit offsetting. That's significant over 10 years. When you go to the debt to GDP ratio, with the TCJA in place permanently, with other factors in place in this bill, you talk about 94% debt to GDP ratio. Without it, you go to 117%. So if you really want to tackle debt and long-term structural problems, this is one anchor when you combine it with waste, fraud, and abuse being removed, efficiencies being put into government, which brings down costs like administrative costs that are one of the highest factors. When you start adding that all together, this is part of a pro-growth strategy, including the money that will come in from tariffs, hundreds of billions, trillions of overseas investment coming into the country, and long-term stability in manufacturing, whether it's chips or whether it's delivering energy.
You mentioned tariffs. Molly, I want you to listen to what President Trump had to say and then get your reaction on the other side of it.
A leading global economist just did a 180 and says your tariff plan, you may have outsmarted everybody with it. What is your message to critics who think your tariff plan will cause a recession?
I think they should go back to business school. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. I mean, we're taking in billions and billions of dollars from China and a lot of other countries.
When I see that, I think about what we're expecting in the weeks to come, not just in this bill. We'll see if this bill becomes another victory for the president. He's had quite a few this week, but we're expected to hear about some of these trade deals that have worked out in the next couple of weeks, in the next month or so. So we'll see what that does, and then we'll really be talking about the market. And the other thing that I was thinking about was how Canada is now in this snafu, this trade snafu, and might be left out in the cold as all of these other deals get worked out. And then as we're watching the big bill, it's actually coming down to, as Chad Pergram talks so often about the math, the GOP can only lose about 3. And right now they're still working on those 3. Yeah. And the president's working that front. You know, he was out there on the golf course with Senator Paul today. And apparently Chad Pergram saying there's also a question mark there. There's Senator Collins up in Maine. She's got some things that she wants. So there's still a big discussion there going on. We'll see if she gets the amendments that she wants to see.
Oh, it's how the sausage is made.
Hey, Sean. This is about more than numbers. This bill is part of a 10-year strategy to rein in the deficit, reduce debt to GDP, and finally fix the broken system D.C. insiders have milked for decades. Trump is playing the long game, and he's winning. The Democrats use bumper sticker politics. That's all they have. Chaos for the middle class? Please. Ask any Uber driver, waitress, or small business owner. They're thriving under Trump's policies. And let's not forget trade. Trump's tariff plan has outmaneuvered China and others. We're bringing in billions, revitalizing American industry, and making foreign competitors sweat. That's what leadership looks like. Patriots, this is the time to stand up and speak out. Call your senators. Tell them to vote YES on the big, beautiful bill. We've got the momentum. We've got the economy humming. We've got a leader who won't back down. If you love this country, if you want to keep more of your money, protect your borders, and take the power back from unelected bureaucrats, this is your fight, too. This is America First. This is Trump's legacy. And this is just the beginning. Like, share, and smash that subscribe button for more truth the media won't tell you. And don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss an update from the front lines of the conservative fight for freedom. America First, Big Beautiful Bill, Trump 22-4, Drain the Swamp, Cut the Tax, Middle Class Matters, MAGA. Let single quotes us go. Patriots.